Hi, I'm Jen Manwaring, and I am going to be talking about the importance of three-way calls. Chances are you have heard the term three-way calls in Rodan Fields. Um, whether you're new or whether you have been around for a few years, in fact, you may have signed with a three-way call. And the reason we keep bringing it up is because they're super important. And I'm going to talk about that. But I will say that when I first joined the business 2.5 years ago, and I remember my upline saying, get people on a three-way call. I thought that was the weirdest thing. I was like, wait, what? That's going to be super uncomfortable. I'm not sure we can do that. And are we kind of blindsiding them? Like, what are we doing? Okay, obviously, in the beginning, I didn't understand the purpose of it. In fact, I think most people don't understand the purpose, and some still, even over time, may not understand the purpose of three-way calls. So we're going to talk about it a little bit today. Okay, so third-party validation. I'm sure you've heard that term, like three-way calls bring third-party validation. Well, it is the truth. When you bring on another person who is knowledgeable and experienced, it allows your prospect to see that there is more than one person who is being successful at this business. And it doesn't matter if you are a new consultant or if you have been running your business for a long time. Three-way calls are helpful no matter what point you're at. And they may look slightly different. I mean, for a new consultant, they could say, hey, I'd like you to talk to my upline because I don't know much about the business. But it's going to look very different for those who have been in the business for a while that at some point in their conversation, they say, I'd love for you to listen to my friend's story. I really think it would resonate with you, and I would like you to know the kind of support you would get with our team. That's what it sounds like for someone who is experienced. Okay, so third-party validation is a human element, and it is called the most powerful tool in network marketing. And it is the most underutilized tool in network marketing. So can you tell that people are uncomfortable with it? I think part of it is just because they're not sure how is it supposed to work and what's the benefit. So let's talk about the benefit. So I will say that the RF leaders who are consistently, the successful top RF leaders who are consistently enrolling new consultants and growing their organizations make a habit of using three-way calls. In fact, it's their #1 business growing activity. Okay, so there is some benefit to it. It shows that we have a support and a team in place that we help each other, that you're not going to get in this and be alone. There's going to be someone there if you need help. I will say that everything I learned about training and doing a three-way call was from listening to three-way calls with my upline. This business is about duplication. I remember Alyssa saying, I think just yesterday, she said, it all starts with you and then your team follows. And I can directly correlate the number of three-way calls that we have done on our team with the amount of growth that is on our team. So it for sure helps to grow your team. I want to, for those who are like, I don't need to do a three-way call because I know everything about the business. Guys, this was me too. I've done this before. If you make yourself the self-proclaimed expert and you say, I'll take care of the call, I'll take care of the training, we don't need anybody else involved, what you've done is now the prospect starts to think that she's going to have to know, he or she is going to have to know everything going into this business, and that it's going to be way harder than they anticipated, because all of a sudden you know everything, and then that means she needs to know everything. Sometimes people don't want to be the expert in the beginning. That's kind of a scary thought. So sometimes it's nice to edify someone else. Like, see, this business really is simple. You don't have to be the expert, and you have people that will support you who are experts. And you can just get started and you're going to have a ton of support. And it also shows that we have systems and we have trainings in place to support them when they join. So sometimes when you think you want to be that lone ranger out there and you're going to do all the training and you're going to do everything because you already know everything, sometimes that's not the best way to go about it. And as I said earlier, if you are a seasoned consultant and you have a team, you know what? Get your upline on the call for like 10 minutes. Just introduce her and just say, I just want you to know that you have support. So I'm going to get Alyssa on the phone. I would love for you to hear her story. That's it. It doesn't have to be like, let me answer all the questions for you, because you can still help do that part, but at least there's still some validation that you have a team that cares about you and you will be successful in this business. I will say too, if you have someone that just doesn't want to get on a three-way call, I've seen this time and time again, chances are they're not that interested. Truly. If they're not willing to get on a three-way call, it's usually because they're just, I don't know, take it or leave it. I don't really want to take that extra step. And in that case, you can just answer the questions yourself. And, at that point, if that person decides to take it to the next level, then we can always do a three-way call. I will say with a three-way call, that person needs to be interested. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, that person needs to be at least a 5. There needs to be some amount of interest, even if, the person says, well, I'm interested, but I have concerns, or I'm not sure I could sell to anybody. That's okay. Let's get them on a call. Let's just make sure they have some interest in the business before we get an expert on the call. And that's what we're going to talk about next. So when we talk to someone about a three-way call, you've got you, the consultant, then you've got your prospect, and then you've got your upline. You're going to want to edify your upline. And I know that sounds super weird, like, wait, what? You want the upline to look like the expert. You want your upline to be the successful, experienced expert. Say something like, I have access to a top leader in the company. I'd love to introduce you to them or to her. She's an expert in the business. She's helped me personally and is more qualified to answer these questions than I am. The reason why, not because your upline wants to be edified, it has nothing to do with that. It builds value so that your prospect, when they get on the call, they're like, oh, okay, I'm talking to someone who really knows what they're talking about, someone who's very successful, so I'm going to show a little bit of respect. I value this time because here's someone who is taking time out to talk to me. So if you're not saying something like that, then they're like, what, I'm just going to get on a phone call with another person? Wait, what is this? Like, are you guys all trying to gang up on me? What, you want to distinctly say, here's me, I'm being successful, but I would love for you to talk to my upline because she's seeing incredible success. So you definitely want to talk that person up because it will benefit you when the call happens. It's also just in general to just listen to those trainings as a consultant. So once you introduce them, you've got your upline and she takes over and finds out the concerns and starts talking about the business, tells her story, incorporates whatever the prospect's concerns are, which you can always tell your upline previously before the call. You're going to, the middle person, the consultant, you're going to mute the phone. After you've done the introductions and you've said, oh, this is my amazing leader, she's super successful, and you know how, Sally, you were saying that you just really want to be able to work from home, but, things are tight, and, my friend Alyssa, she was a school teacher and they really hit rock bottom when she started this business, and it's been this incredible blessing for them to see how successful it's been. You really talk up the sponsor on the phone, and then you're going to hand it over, and then you're going to mute yourself because we're going to let the expert do the talking. It really validates the whole process and it makes the process work. Okay, so there's going to be a point towards the end of the call where the upline will then turn it back over to you after the concerns are met. When she's ready to sign, he or she, then the upline will turn it back over to you. So yeah, it's a great training. It's a great way to learn how to train, by doing these three-way calls. That's how you know how to duplicate for your team. It's really all about duplication. When I'm doing three-way calls, my team does three-way calls. When I'm not doing three-way calls, my team is not doing three-way calls. So you lead by example and duplication. So we duplicate what worked for the leaders, and then we see success, and then our team duplicates what we do, and they see success. That is what duplication means. So, bring those three-way calls to your sponsor, and then you will learn the skills, and then you will eventually be able to do them with your downline. Sometimes that's really all it takes to seal the deal is that three-way call. So if you've had some experience with three-way calls and you've had a success story, comment below this video, and remember to always start with your sponsor first. And if your sponsor is not able to or is still too early in the business, then go to the next sponsor. But always work your way up, and you know what? They work. They're definitely worth giving it a try. 2018 is your year.